Hey man, we're still into it. It's music and love. Sisela Pangapakati at Lookout Hill. Hashtag music and love. Next to me is my man Danilo. He's the professional. He's the existence of the whole new thing, of which is what we call YouTube. Don't worry about it. I'm guessing him up, and then he is guest. So which is that's fine. But then he has a lot to say. I've heard him saying a lot inside. Everyone out here, they want to start a YouTube channel. They want to say anything via YouTube. You have a lot of ideas. You have a lot of what to say about what happens at YouTube and how you do it at YouTube. For anyone who doesn't know what to do when they want to start, what do you want to tell them on how you can do it?
So I think first and foremost, if you start a YouTube channel, you are very brave. You're very, very brave. It takes a really long time to build a solid platform. And I think the things that everyone needs to realize, there are 4 things that I value most about YouTube. The first thing I value is content. I think a lot of South Africans trying to be like everybody else and trying to produce content like everybody else. I think we need to start realizing that you need to find your own unique voice, something that we've never seen before. There's so much content. I think there's 500 hours of content being uploaded to YouTube every minute. So you need to try and make sure that you break through that noise with something we've never seen before. So content is king. Then the second thing is consistency. A lot of people start YouTube channels, post one thing out and hope people find them and like, yeah, I'm going to be famous with this one video. It doesn't work that way. Trust is built through consistency. And so people will only subscribe to channels that they know what they're going to receive in the future. So content is king. Consistency is the most important thing. Then the third C is community. Making sure that you realize that people come to YouTube to build a community, respond to things, like things, share things, tweet about things, Instagram things, Facebook things, whatever you can do to make sure that you are sharing that conversation and realizing that people are there because they want to build a community with you. And I think finally is this authenticity part. A lot of people don't realize that, to be a brand on YouTube, people want to know you as an individual. They don't want to know the perceived idea of you. They want to know the real you. So be authentic and you'll build a great audience.
Yeah. And one thing you said that I resonate with, it's that you can never know what makes you as you are on YouTube. Because you could find that there's one person who's a singer and then they only get a one-way hit on music. We said there's a one-hit wonder. So like it happens like that and then it never happens again. So like the videos like that, you do a song and then you get famous on YouTube and then the X like that. So as a person, how did you connect the two? Your TV personality, right? Television personality. So you made that as a living. Did you get that from YouTube or did you get a TV personality exclusively from YouTube as a YouTuber?
So no, I've never been a YouTuber and I've never been brave enough to take my presence to YouTube.
No, I do find you as a YouTuber because you've been famous on more YouTube videos. So I do take you as a YouTuber. So that's why I'm asking, as if have you ever connected it as both of them?
Interestingly enough, no. So I landed up on television by mistake. I was at a radio station when Hectic 99 came to audition at all the university radio stations, and I was very honored, in fact, to be there. It was such a bad audition. Like, it was so bad. Somehow I was at the right time, right place, and they gave me a job. And so 9 years later, I'm now in the digital space because I felt like I'd sort of reached the ceiling, and I didn't want anyone else telling me what I wanted to do on the internet. I wanted to produce something that was digital, help young people find a voice online, and give them the tools that they need to build a big enough platform. So I never actually put those 2 and 2 together, but I have been in a lot of YouTube videos now that I think about it.
Yeah. So I have watched a lot. So as a person, what do you think of the word independency? Because a lot of YouTubers work alone, so they work independently, and then when you go to a television channel and then you have to work with a lot of people. So how do you like differentiate with independency and then working with a lot of people? So
the beautiful thing about digital video content and YouTube is that you get to have your own voice. And I think you don't have to rely on what other people want you to say it in a particular way with a script. Yeah, exactly. So I think there's something really beautiful about that. The flip side of it, the other side of the coin and the sort of the other side of the two-edged sword is that it's also really lonely because you are just yourself producing this content. You're shooting it, you're editing it, you're scripting it, you're trying to build a brand, you're trying to build an audience all by yourself. And that can be incredibly scary because you often find yourself really struggling sometimes and there's no one around to be like, hey producer, make the show better, or hey social media team, let's post this thing out. There's no one to support you. So it's beautiful because you can be independent, but it's also scary because you have to be independent.
So do you ever think that the fact that many people, they think that this is an independency and then there's like the FOMO that I have so many likes now. So do you ever think of the fact that many people who do YouTube channels, they don't think of the fact that the FOMO is at the fact that they like the artist and not the content you producing? as a purple as the person who was doing the YouTube channel?
If I understand your question correctly, is it like, you know, a lot of people produce content, they're hoping to be famous, and they want to kind of get the likes and the comments and the shares, and that's their measure of success. But I find a lot of the times those YouTubers are the ones that get, by the time they hit 30,000 subscribers, become not even bored, but they become lonely and sad because they're not producing content that they really love. And when they try to produce content that they love, the audience is like, no, I don't know you for that, go back to the things I know you for. And so starting out from the beginning, doing stuff that you really do enjoy, that you'll wake up in the morning getting excited to produce, those are the creators who will grow the fastest.
Okay. So mentioning about people who go the fastest and then they get comfortable. So what's comfortability to you in terms of doing a YouTube channel? Because there's comfortability that means being relaxed and then understanding that this is what I do and then I want to earn up here. But then is there comfortability in your own words that you could understand, or you could say that there's comfortability? I mean, people get comfortable and then they relax and then they feel like they have to do more. I mean, they're settled to what they have to do like now. So do you think more YouTubers do that, or?
So it's a fine balance. It's a mistake that I made in my business. I often say to all YouTubers, you must grow, you must grow, you must grow. And some of them are going like, no, I don't want to grow. I want to consolidate. I actually want to slow down. I want to start relaxing and enjoying this content that I'm producing now, and it's working for me. And so there is a sense of comfortableness that you can build that gets you to like a standard. And I'm okay with that. And then start thinking about, who do I want to be? What do I want to do next? What are my goals for the next 6 months? And then aim for those things.
Because the reason why I'm asking that, it was because you were comfortable in your own being, because like you didn't notice that you were being prolific. When you're prolific, you're giving birth and then you're making people more understand, and you're not trying to do anything else, but then you're trying to be you. And then when you're being you like trying to give yourself, and then when you give yourself, you give new birth to people. And then that's what you've been doing, because you've been presenting and then you've been liking things, and then that's being you. And then you were inspiring people to doing that without you noticing that you've been doing that. So like, that's why I was asking you, have you been comfortable by yourself doing that, or you ever noticed that you're being comfortable?
Sure. My family bring this up a lot because they feel like I had a huge impact on young people by my job on television, and I don't believe that, because there are young people that are doing much better things than I could ever have done in my life. They might not be as famous as I am, or they might not be as privileged as I am. And yes, I'm born with white privilege. I get it. They might not be as privileged as I am, but they're better human beings. They care more, they love more, they're kinder. And so my form of growth would have to be a growth in sort of a personal space. So I felt like I got comfortable on television. I reached the ceiling and I was like, this doesn't bring me life anymore. I don't want to be this, look at me, I'm next to these famous people and interviewing the next big star. I just couldn't do it anymore. I wanted to be my authentic self again. I wanted to be this guy who loves young people, who's all about social responsibility, entrepreneur. So I've kind of only really found that voice now in the last 2 years.
I think, man, we had a more than enough conversation right here tonight. Not tonight, this evening. We had more than enough. I think we should continue this at some other time. But then, we should wrap it up now. Musisela, we outside here, Lookout Hill, Raw Movement. We're equipping you with anything you need. Come on, man. Let's go inside.